Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm MK.
And I'm Courtney.
And Courtney, how are you?
Well, let me tell you. I am refreshed. I am back from a cruise. But don't worry, I am still a hot mess.
That is true.
I
Yeah.
will give you a rundown of the cruise. There was food, alcohol, manatees, dolphins, and pools.
Yeah.
And shows. That was the
Yeah.
cruise. It was excellent. I was with the best people on the planet. We had a great time, no drama.
I love that.
Wonderful. Let's talk pre-cruise. So
I actually know some of this story.
I don't remember who I told what, but I had a minor panic attack shortly before leaving the cruise. I was so we recorded Sunday before I left?
Saturday. We recorded Saturday.
Saturday. So I didn't talk to you Sunday or Monday, but like Sunday, I was a little hungover. So I ended up staying out really late with Jason, who I work with, and a little hungover on Sunday. So I just slept all day. So then Monday I had to go shopping to get all my clothes and stuff for the cruise. Check my new top.
Nice.
But so then I was like, I got home really late Monday and I was like, oh, okay, my plane's not till 1 tomorrow. I can get up and pack as long as I already have basically I was picking up everything out of my Macy's bag and putting it into my suitcase to pack. So not a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
And I was like, no problem. I'll get up in the morning, grab my birth certificate, throw my stuff in a bag. I'll be good to go.
Fantastic.
Until we learn that I have no idea where my birth certificate is called. For those of you who have not taken a cruise, you need either a passport or a birth certificate to get on the boat.
How do people just not have passports though?
So I told myself when I passed the bar, I could get myself a passport. Great plan, except I passed the bar, had $0, and went straight into a pandemic. So I was like, not really concerned about getting a passport today when I have no money and I can't leave my house. So, but then I called Rachel in a panic. Actually, I was texting Rachel in a panic and she called me. And she was able to just go pop in. If you were born in Louisiana, you can send someone who you have given permission to and handwritten permission to go pick up your birth certificate for $34 from the clerk of court. Thankfully, this one was about 5 minutes away from her house, so she didn't have to go too much out of her way. Although I did forget that if you are not an attorney in Louisiana, you could not take your phone into the courthouse. So she had a bit of a snafu because I have not been in a courthouse without being involved in legal stuff, like working in the legal field in 7 years. I don't even know if I've been there before then, but definitely not in 7 years.
Yeah.
So I completely did not cross my mind that that she couldn't take her phone, which had the picture that said, "Hey, Rachel can pick up my birth certificate." But so I had a bit of a panic attack right before leaving, but then it's fine. I got into New Orleans. I had a drink because that's what you do there.
Correct.
And then I had another drink with dinner. We shopped some more. And then I lived my best life on the cruise. We went to Cozumel.
Fantastic.
I am already planning my next vacation in my head, which is in a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm still very white, but look at the sun. You can see the white. I got a little sun.
Oh, look at you did get a little sun.
So how are you?
It has been a while since we've talked.
Sure has.
I had my first full week of school.
Oh yeah, how did it go?
It went better than the week before that.
That's
My
very positive. That's good. Good start.
um my one of my eighth grade girls, one of my loves, left the school.
No, why? Is that classified?
No, it's drama. It's stupid. It's middle school drama that I just find everything about it stupid. Um, but the first week of school was great. Brianna left.
Did she get home safely?
She got home safely. Everything was great. And the saddest part about her leaving was that when they sat on the airplane, Zara said, "Auntie coming? Grandma coming? Grandpa coming?"
Did you all cry?
I did.
I would have.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, this week it is Wednesday already, and this week has already been insane. But I have a couple new and wonderful things in my life.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and one of them ended up being more significant than I realized. And I will share one today, and I'll share one on Thursday, just so I have things to talk about. But yesterday, I got a tattoo.
Yes, you did.
I did, and it is beautiful.
Stunning.
So my ankle previously said "to infinity" with a small planet, and I added the words "and beyond," except for that the "and beyond" is actually in Thai. And then I added the toy alien from Toy Story, and he is gorgeous. Now the backstory is that my little Tomboon from Thailand, the kid that I private tutored, loved the toy aliens. It was his favorite. And so the tattoo is for him.
Oh, I love
But
it.
then I realized that it is so beyond fitting that I, Mary Kate Lodick, who his favorite band, Tokyo Hotel, calls their fans aliens, who hosts a podcast called Death and Aliens, who does everything about aliens, whose favorite song by their favorite singer MGK is called Concert for Aliens, got a fucking tattoo of an alien. And I literally didn't think about any of that until after it was already done and on my body. And I was like, of course I got a fucking alien tattoo. Who would be surprised that I have an alien tattooed on me?
Right.
No,
No one.
literally no one.
Not at all. No one.
But it's amazing. My new tattoo artist, his name is Ed. He is wonderful, and it straight up looks like I took one of those like decal stickers that you buy on Etsy and slapped it on my leg. It is perfect.
The color is wonderful. It is so nice. So nice.
Yeah. So that's my one of my exciting updates in my life. But yeah, just living the dream. School. We started the fall play rehearsals today.
Oh, what's
Which
the play?
and another thing that is so, of course I did. Our fall play is a trio of Edgar Allan Poe short stories.
Amazing. Are you gonna record it? I would watch children perform
I don't know that
Poe.
I don't know that the rights allow us to record it.
Can you personally record it and send it to me and I won't tell anyone?
I cannot legally answer that question.
Correct. That was a test. As a lawyer, I was tested. As a lawyer who works with rights,
right? Yeah, right.
I was testing you.
Well, I'm glad I passed.
You did. We can still be best friends. It's fine.
It's perfect. We're also doing like student directors and student set designers and stuff, and like helping like the kids like learn more about the arts and not just acting. And I'm just very excited.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of helping in the arts and excitement, how can we be spiritual today? Because it has been a while.
We sure need that. You gotta I think that's the last one I did. Nope, that's the last one I did. If I did this one already, tell me and we'll cut it out and I'll do a different one.
I might not even remember, honestly.
Well, maybe you need to hear it twice if I did it already. Who knows?
Perfect.
If your path demands you to walk through hell, walk as if you own the place.
You definitely did that one already.
Excellent. New spirituality. Good, I have 2 left. So one for this episode, one for next one.
Perfect.
Nope, I did that one too. The trees that lose their leaves.
I don't remember this.
If you feel like you're losing everything, remember that trees lose their leaves every year. I definitely did that
Oh
one.
yeah, no, you did. Wow. Man, we are not destined for spirituality today. Okay.
I don't know if I did this one. Oh my gosh. I don't think I have. Okay. Last try. 3rd time's the charm.
Okay, perfect.
I am proud of you because after everything you've been through, you are still here. And you are still smiling and laughing, regardless of all the bullshit you've been through. You haven't let anything break you. You are as strong as they come. R.M. Drake.
Oh, I love that.
And I don't think I did that one already.
You did not.
Excellent. Well, that's the one you needed to hear today then.
Perfect. Fantastic. All right. Well, you know what else we need to hear about today?
Oh, Stargate. I am ready.
It has been so long since I have watched or talked about Stargate because, as those of you who religiously follow this will know, Courtney and I fucked up and thought we needed to record 6 episodes before her cruise, and turns out we only needed to record 4, but we prepped for 6. So it has been more than a week, almost 2 weeks since I have watched this episode. So let's hope for the best, honestly.
We are gonna kill it.
But this episode of Stargate SG-1 is season 2, episode 6, and it is called Thor's Chariot. I know. It came out on July 31st, 1998, and it was rated 8.3 stars, which I don't think is the highest of the season. But I am not. No, it's definitely not the highest of the season, but it might be the highest so far this season. No, it's not. The Serpent's Lair was 8.6. But right, yes, but we've been on a bout of 6 and 7s, so this 8 stars is back on track. The number 1 song was still the whatever that thing by Brandy that I still have not listened to, even though it's been the only.
Boy, it's mine.
Yes, that one. The one that has been the only song that we've listened to for the entire season 2 of
you gotta listen to that song. It's actually a very nice song.
I'm sure it is. I mean, like 90s Brandy was like a thing, just probably not my thing.
It was my thing.
The number 1 movie was Saving Private Ryan.
A movie I never saw, but was very popular. I do recall.
Yeah, it was very popular. I don't actually think I've ever watched it all the way through. Like, I've definitely seen parts of it, and I understand its like importance and everything, right. But like, I no idea.
Doesn't it make you cry? Isn't it a sad one?
Yeah, I think.
Probably gonna leave that one off the list. I'm sure it's wonderful.
Who is even in that? Like Tom Hanks and Matt Damon, and like, is that one?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like
Tom Hanks had a few that came out all around the same time that were like,
yeah,
kind of similar but different.
Saving Private Ryan. Oh yeah, Tom Hanks and Matt Damon. I was absolutely correct. Wow.
Proud of you.
I only know anything about that movie because I know that they like did something really weird with like Matt Damon during the filming of that to like make the other guys like not spend any time with him so that like the scenes about acting about like anguish and stuff were like real, but like it ended up just causing like weird like discomfort between people. Yeah. And that's all I know.
Yeah, that tracks though.
Yeah. This episode was directed by William Garrity and written by Catherine Powers, so nothing new there. So the guest star was Tennyson Kelsey, who was known for these 2 episodes of Stargate that she was in.
Really? She looked kind of familiar, so I wasn't sure if I knew her from somewhere.
No.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
It's another one of those. Remember we were talking last week about how like all of these like attractive 90s women all just look really familiar, but maybe it's just that all like
Yeah.
virtually all like basic attractive 90s women kind of look the same. She was also in one episode of MacGyver though, so
that would not affect me in my knowledge.
it wouldn't, but it does tie us back to the fact that last week we talked about MacGyver being the only reason this podcast actually exists.
Right. It ties us back to everything comes back to MacGyver. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, and nothing happened on that day that I can think of. Yeah.
It was the end of July.
It was, yes, it was the end of July.
We moved on to August. The tides have turned. And we are in a new world. I don't know. I am in a very different place than I was before I left.
Apparently. So we start with the team like listening to something, and Sam is just like giving a science lecture about, quite literally at this point I don't remember what it was about. But then the gate opened and there was an inbound traveler that had no SG code.
So let me tell you about this gate opening. This whole episode had me real set in the Marvel world. So this gate opens, and I'm just expecting it to be Loki looking for the Tesseract or with the Tesseract.
Okay.
It was the visuals. It had like a blue look.
Yeah.
And it was a little darker.
Yeah, I can see that.
The directing was a little darker because I remember thinking like this is still kind of following along with like how we said the last few episodes have kind of had that like horror feel to them. And so like the way that it was shot, I was like, Loki's coming out of the Stargate. We better get ready. He didn't.
He didn't. I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't have been the least strange thing to happen since we are in fact in an episode about Thor. Right. But turns out there is no person coming through the Stargate at all.
No.
There was nothing. But whatever was sent through the Stargate that had been burnt up had traces of iridium in it. And apparently, because Sam is a little bit of a genius,
just a tad.
Right. Apparently, in a lot of the planets that they have left things on, they have chemically traced them differently from each other so that were anything to ever come back through the gate, they'd be able to like tell which gift it was. Which is like brilliant.
It is. It's very smart.
So the iridium means that this was from Samaria. As we may only recall, because I've said Thor's name 8 times, Samaria was the Thor planet.
Yes. That is fine.
They decide to go back and see what the Asgards have left there because they don't know why they sent this box back. So they open the gate and send a Melp through first, which is the correct choice, really. And the Melp camera shows Garwin begging them for help. And they're like, well, shit, this is a little bit our fault because the Goa'uld never attacked Samaria because of the hammer, and then we destroyed the hammer. So, like, we kind of owe them fixing us.
Yeah.
So they do finally go back. Hammond tries to argue that they don't have any responsibility, and they're like, no. We're going. So they do. And they come through the gate, and everything is like eerily quiet on the other side of the gate.
So at this point, before we get into the new Thor episode, can you give like a 5-second rundown of what happened the last Thor episode?
Why? Because it was over a season ago.
I mean, maybe that's why.
So in the first episode, they go to Samaria, they meet the Asgardian people. They find out that this planet is basically protected from any Goa'uld attack by Thor's hammer, which is a technology that basically is able to trap and kill Goa'uld. The people are kind and they know about Earth, which is different than most of the Earth type aliens that they know. And they're waiting for Thor's return. And but Teal'c gets trapped in the maze with the weird swamp creature that was played by James Earl Jones.
Yes,
They
yes.
have to destroy the hammer to save Teal'c. But that means
forgotten about the swamp creature.
that means that the Goa'uld protection is also now gone.
Yes. All right. Everything tracks. Yes.
So they get through, everything's quiet. They start to move around and they see that there's already a Goa'uld pyramid more than halfway built, ready for your mothership.
This was my next question. Are these like, is this a thing I've just forgotten? Do Goa'uld just like build pyramids when they go to a place?
Yes.
Okay. I thought they were building one of the 7 wonders of the world.
No. Pyramids are basically landing zones for motherships with more Goa'uld in it. Yeah.
My brain just like forgot that there was a specific thing for that. That it was just like, here's what we built in this area.
Yes, no, sometimes they build Eiffel Towers, sometimes they build waterfall. No, they just always build pyramids.
I was about to say, so they are doing the 7 wonders of the world.
That was called sarcasm.
That would have been incredible. If I were to have written this show, that's what I would have written.
Well, I don't know that that's true because you were 7 when this came out.
Sure enough, would have written about the 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah, no, you probably would have. Garwin pops out and she tells them that they thought it was Ragnarok, like they thought this was the end, everything was awful, everybody was going to die. But they sent the box back through the gate in order to make the Stargate team return. But Garwin's husband died in order to send the box back through. He sacrificed himself.
So sad.
Then they get attacked by some Goa'uld, and the Jaffa chase Teal'c and Jack through the woods, which I don't know why I took that note because it now seems like it wasn't a very relevant point to the episode.
I did not take that note, so it may have been irrelevant.
Yeah, no. They ask Garwin to take them to see Kendra, and she seems very reluctant to do so.
My next note, I do very clearly remember this scene because I was like, Kendra, we liked her. And then I said, I thought for sure she was going to say Kendra is dead. And then like 20 seconds later, my next note just says, oh, I see.
Yes. She said, okay, I'll take you to Kendra. And then she took them and was like, Kendra and her family live here now. And it was just a grave.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is one way to put that for sure.
Yeah, that is a way to hide the lead for sure.
Yeah. So Kendra and her family are dead. And along with half of the Sumerians. Basically, at this point, everyone is fucking dead.
Yeah.
So then, for some reason that we don't quite fucking know, Sam puts on Kendra's Iron Man cuff.
The Iron Man hand, it's back.
Yes, the Iron Man hand is back, and Sam puts it on, and then it turns out she's able to use Goa'uld technology now because Jolinar was used to be inside of her. The same way Kendra, which actually does check out because Kendra wasn't Goa'uld anymore, but could still use the tech. Yes. So the fact that like Sam isn't Goa'uld but can still use the tech, like, is actually like consistent.
They didn't just very happy with the consistency on that one.
Because like sometimes when a main character needs to be able to do something, like the fact that she was like having dreams or like the gamekeeper couldn't see into her mind. I was like, this is weird, but no, when
Like,
you bring it back to
fine.
when you bring it back to Kendra, you're like, okay, no, that they have established from the beginning that people even who have removed the host still have weird
Right.
like abilities. So
Fine.
okay.
Yes. Yes.
Uh Garwin brings them to where all the people are hiding, and the men see them and get really pissed off that they're there because they're like, you uh broke the hammer. You don't get to be here and hide with us. Like, you're the reason they're there. But somehow Garwin tricks them all into agreeing to help defeat the Edmonds,
Yes.
which are the gold.
Right.
In case you didn't remember that that's what they call them.
I did not, but I used my context clues
Oh, yay!
and was
Context
able
clues.
to figure it out.
Fantastic.
I'm very smart like that.
So Garwin tells them that she wishes that they had access to the Hall of Thor's might, where he left some kind of weapon that could help them.
So is that what it's called in like
Yeah.
mythology, or is that just what it's called here?
No, that's what it's called in mythology.
That's a choice. Like, again, not what I would have named it. I don't know what I would have named it, but not that.
Not that the Hall of Thor's might. I'm not sure why that would be the thing, but the Hall of Thor's might. Oh, actually, it's funny because if you Google the Hall of Thor's might, everything that comes up is from Stargate.
Are Stargate liars?
No. Basically, then you get to it down farther. Bilsknir, which is Old Norse for lightning crack, is the hall of the god of Thor, the hall of the god Thor in Norse mythology. He lives there with his wife Sif, and according to the Grimness Mall, it is the greatest hall and building, and it contains 540 rooms, and all are the dwelling places of gods.
That is a lot of rooms and a lot of gods.
Correct. But also, I'm glad that they were like, let's just call it the Hall of Thor's Might instead of trying to get people to pronounce Bilsknir correctly.
Bilsknir. You know, you're probably not wrong.
No. So, like butchering, I mean, to be fair, they use a lot of like different mythological words and they do it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
They do it pretty well. So like they could have, but they also, even then, they never called Thor's hammer Mjolnir.
I thought they did. I was just about to bring that up. Did they not?
I don't know. They didn't. They always just called it Thor's hammer. Because I remember making a comment about the fact that even in mythology, it's called Mjolnir. So I didn't know why they did that. So for some reason, they're like, let's use this mythology, but then like, let's fuck it up a little bit.
Because I remember we called it Mjolnir.
Yes.
Yeah. Mjolnir.
It's the Mjolnir. It sounds like you're choking on a cat. Ugh. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm sure it was a very attractive sound to put in the microphone.
Thank you for all of our audio only listeners. Mjolnir. Yeah. So Olaf, who is one of the men who is helping them, which is not a snowman, but
indeed.
But that's fine because Olaf is a Viking name, and I'm not mad about it.
Right.
And also, this was what, like 20 years before Frozen?
Yeah.
So Olaf takes Teal'c and Jack to see the gold setup, and then promptly gets kidnapped.
Yep.
Oh, here is where we have a real problem in my notes. Because I can't read my own handwriting. I just guess for most of what it says, because I can vaguely read it. But I cannot tell you what the letters of the System Lord's name is.
You know, That's all right.
Do you know what it is?
Absolutely not. My next note is a quote from Tilk.
Oh, okay. Well, Teal'c is talking to Jack about the. Okay, there we go. I found it. Teal'c is telling Jack that this current Goa'uld invasion is by another one of the system lords, whose name is Hurur, which is again why I can't read it, but it's Heru apostrophe UR. Herur?
That's what I call
Herur?
Rachel's dog. Her name's Aurora, and when I talk to her, I say Harrr.
Herur is the son of Ra and Hathor. So like 10 out of 10 personality going on right there.
Absolutely, a lot of sass.
Yes. So then they fire at the guard to save Olaf, and Teal'c has a weird moment with Herur, but I don't know what the weird moment was. I just wrote that he has a weird moment, and I don't remember.
Moment, but I do know. I'm pretty sure it was in this scene. Whenever he's talking to Jack about it, and he's like, "No, things are getting worse, this and that," and he's like, somebody's like, "Maybe they'll calm down," and Teal'c just stops and goes, "Things will not calm down. Things will only calm up." And I was like, I would like to start telling people that.
I don't know if that was nope, no, yes, but it was right after this because my next thing says they repeat back to Daniel everything that's going on, things will calm up. So yes. Yes, so they, after this happens and they rescue Olaf and they go back down and they tell Daniel and Sam everything that's going on and everything about Herur, and then Teal'c says things will not calm down, they will only calm up, which you're right is amazing,
and I will continue to use that in my daily
absolutely life. So then they discuss what exactly they're supposed to do with the C4, which, you know, blow shit up.
I mean, what else do you do with it?
Yeah, I drink it, but that's not the same C4.
What?
There's an energy drink called C4 that tastes like Starburst, and it's my favorite energy drink. And
look, I've just learned about Celsius energy drinks.
Oh, C4 is kind of like Celsius, where it has like no sugar, and it's actually technically a pre-workout, but like, and you can buy it at vitamin shops because it's actually like not super fake. But yeah, you just learned about Celsius?
Like last week, I had a peach one. It was nice.
I love Celsius, but I like C4 even more because they're like the same as Celsius, but they taste like sugar.
I saw the can at my store, and I was like, I like peach. I'm gonna try that one.
My least favorite thing about Celsius, completely off topic, is that they kind of look like Trulies and White Claws, like in terms of the shape of the can. And so like when I'm drinking a Celsius while driving, I'm also always like, I will get pulled over.
Panicking. Also panicking constantly. I love that.
So Daniel fills Jack in after they fill him on Herur. Daniel fills him in on the hall, and Gerwin takes them to the Hall of Might, but it's just another stone obelisk, like the hammer was. And Daniel's like,
not the hall.
Bro. No. Mm-hmm. But then Daniel touches it, and they get transported into a hall, and Thor's hologram appears.
Like a port key.
Yes, it is like a port key. The floor disappears, leaving only a beam for them to cross, and Daniel says that he is afraid of heights. Also, for clarification, because I did not make this distinction in my notes, only Daniel and Sam are with Gerwin. Jack and Teal'c are not, because Jack and Teal'c are blowing things up.
Correct. With the C4 that is not an energy drink.
Correct. And Olaf, who is not a snowman.
Yes.
Yes.
In case you didn't follow.
So Jack is setting up the explosives, and then Sam is like, okay. That's like, oh, sorry, there's a scene of Jack setting up the explosives. Then we go back to the floor. that is empty. And Sam's like, the beam at basic training was harder than this. Like, this is fine. We can cross it. And then she crosses it and is successful. And then Garwin starts to cross it and she starts to fall. And Daniel like has to rescue her. And then they both start to fall.
And he's
everything
terrified
looks
of heights.
And everything looks like it's going to be like horrible. But then the floor reappears.
Yeah.
And they were like, what?
Yeah. In this scene, I put that Michael Shanks is my hero. And if I wasn't already in love with him, I would be now.
That's fair. That's fair.
I would just die with heights, and he was very courageous.
And then the hologram of Thor comes back up, and he's like, you showed selflessness, and now you get to go on to the second task, the riddle of the runes. Here you go.
I was like, oh, it's all a puzzle. It's like, this is a very stressful puzzle.
Very stressful puzzle. Then we go back to our power team, and Olaf warns Teal'c and Jack that the Ettins are coming and he wants to fight, and he's gonna go fight them, so Jack and Teal'c blow everyone up instead. Yeah, and then we go back to Daniel and Sam, and my note says, Daniel says the runes represent a weapon, Thor's chariot, and the potentially fate and a horse.
What?
Yeah, nope. That is a good question. What? That's not even grammatically a sentence, so let alone do I know what it means.
I apologize. My next note is about meeting Thor, so I don't know what these fates are about.
Okay, there's a lot that happens. A lot that happens before that.
Yes. Yes.
So basically, Daniel's trying to figure out what the runes represent, and he's talking aloud, and he's saying all the things that they could represent, and I decided to make a checklist, only I didn't do it coherently. So basically,
okay, read me the list again.
A weapon.
Fine.
So Thor's chariot.
Mm-hmm.
Fate. A horse.
So, like the the 4 horsemen.
Sure.
Fate is fated that the gold will come like the last horseman. So we will need Thor's chariot and weapons to protect from him.
Okay, fantastic. Yes.
I did it.
Your interpretation is better than mine.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Then what?
I know your reaction was that you can't read your writing, but on camera, it looks like your reaction is you forgot something that happened and read it and then reacted to it instead of telling everyone about it.
No, then we flip back to Teal'c and Jack, and it says, the Jaffa are continuing to signal their location. But I didn't put an A in the end of the A in Jaffa, so it looks like it says the Joff are continuing to signal, and my O in location looks like an E, so it says they're Lekishin, and I was like, that's not a word.
That is indeed, can confirm, not a word.
Also, I don't know why the Jaffa were signaling a location. Again,
they were probably signaling the other like the Gaul to come in.
Correct. That's not what I wrote though.
Look, I can't help you with the things that come from your brain to the paper. I can put the pieces together sometimes after you've got them out there.
Basically, moral of the story, we can't record a podcast on an episode we watched more than a week ago.
Yes. I would also like to reiterate, anytime we are watching Stargate and I say things like they are fact, they are not always. Please disregard. If MK does not enthusiastically agree with me, you can assume that it's something I've made up.
Yeah, probably. So then we go back inside the portkey, and Daniel and Sam are trying to solve the rune riddle, which ends up being pi.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't write all of the like crazy batshit things that Daniel did to figure out that it was pi and all of the weird circle things that he did, I just was like, that's a puzzle that he just solved. And it leads them to a button, and they press the button, and Thor's true form appears. Now, I knew what Thor actually looked like. You did not.
I did not.
So, I would love to hear your reaction to that moment.
Well, my note in my book just says, "OMG, it's a real alien Thor," and then I spiraled. So, I was excited, confused, and intrigued
Okay.
because it is the grays like you would see in Roswell. And
In fact, Sam says that it must be what the Roswell Greys are based
right.
on.
So I'm like taking all this in and like keeping up with it. And then she's like, the Greys in Roswell. And I was like, yes, the Greys in Roswell. Like, that's exactly what I was thinking, Sam. So that was kind of my spiral into insanity while realizing that it was a gray alien was Thor. But it did have me questioning, is this the real Thor then? Or is this an alien who is claiming to be Thor?
No, this is the real Thor.
So they're saying that Thor is indeed a gray alien.
Correct.
Okay.
So, basically, he kind of explains it a little bit, but like you were in shock and disbelief and awe. And basically, the hologram is the image of himself he chose to show the people because he knew they weren't technologically advanced to understand him. But he's always looked the way he looks. That's just the image he chose because it looks like what they looked like.
See, I did actually hear that explanation, but then my brain was like, what if Thor's brain has been implanted into this alien? I'm telling you, when I tell you I spiraled.
Yeah, I can see that.
I did.
Spiraled, yeah.
I had a lot of questions.
In a moment that was unnecessary and unneeded because it took us away from the power of the alien. We see Jack and Teal'c trying to save people, but they have been located and they're being swarmed by the Goa'uld. And basically, for the rest of the episode, we flash back and forth to their fight with the Goa'uld and what's happening with Thor. And I'll be real honest with you, none of the shit that's happening with Jack and Teal'c matters.
I completely disregarded all of it.
Yeah, no, me too. Because Thor.
Exactly, yes.
So they see it and they make the comment that it looks like the Roswell Greys. And they're trying to figure out what hologram technology they're watching when Thor's like, no, I'm not a hologram. Like, I'm projecting myself to you for real. Like, this is for realsies. And Thor is like, Thor's like, we've kept ourselves hidden until the people of Asgard were advanced enough, or the people of Samaria were advanced enough to see us in our true form, because the Asgardians are actually aliens. And Daniel's like, okay, but like, to be fair, they're actually not. Sorry, I kind of did that myself. Like, didn't. And Thor is upset about the interference. And he kicks them out of the hall.
Yeah, and by kind of upset, you mean Thor is pissed.
Thor is fucking pissed.
He is real unhappy.
And he just straight up boots them from the programming. Like, you're done. But he doesn't boot Garwin.
Right.
So there's that.
He's like, you're chill. It's fine. You proved yourself.
Kind of. You're still stupid. But so Daniel and Sam return to tell Jack and Teal'c that they have no idea what to do because the Hall of Might did not actually have a weapon. It just had a real life alien, which, like, I understand that they're afraid that the Goa'uld are going to kill everyone on that planet, but like, you seem less than excited about the fact that you just met a real fucking alien.
Right. Like, this is like part of your whole thing.
Right. And like, obviously, like, we know about the Nox and we've met a lot of other, and we know about the Goa'uld, like the snakes themselves. but everything else we've met is humanoid in nature. This is
Right.
the first like alien that looks like a fucking alien. And you
Right.
don't seem phased.
Right. I would be losing my mind because after meeting everyone they've met, I would assume all aliens are humanoid. I
Right.
would not think that we were going to ever see the Mystic Grays. Like, so,
Yeah.
yeah, a little unenthused.
So then Harrower is like, surrender to us and you can save the people of Samaria. And they're like, okay, fine. I don't know what else to do. And they're being taken away and to Harrower, and then they hear thunder.
Dun 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 dun. I put Thor to the rescue.
Thor's chariot appears and literally gets rid of all of the gold on the entire planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then Thor sends Garwin back, and she's like, don't worry, he's given me the knowledge I need to rebuild our town, and we're going to rebuild the hammer, but Thor wants you to know that his hammer will have an exception for the one called Teal'c, so you're free to come back and visit us. And so basically Thor is pissed at them, but also impressed with them, and like intrigued by Teal'c being a good Jaffa.
Right.
So he's
Also
kind of
knows that
like,
like they don't mean harm. They're
yeah,
just
so he's kind of just like, we're not friends, but like we're not enemies either.
right. Right. Correct.
Yeah. And that's where we end.
And he said he was gonna like leave someone behind. I was like, I hope he leaves Loki behind for them to go protect them.
Oh yes, he said he was gonna leave someone there to like bring them knowledge.
So I've decided it's Loki now.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so we have officially met the Asgardians.
Did
The
they
real
ever
Asgardians.
call Earth Midgard? Are they gonna do that?
No, they did. That's what Garwin and Kendra called it in the first Thor episode.
Well, that was 7 years ago that I watched that.
Correct.
So I was unsure. Where we went.
Yeah.
Excellent. That was a great episode.
It was a great
I was
episode.
very pleased. I was very into it.
I personally love Thor in Stargate, and the Asgardians are like my second favorite alien race in Stargate.
Have I met your first favorite?
No.
Ooh.
To be fair, I don't know if my first favorite's actually in this or only in Atlantis.
Well,
It's got to be in this one. Yeah, that would make sense.
We'll find out in 10 years.
Yeah, I have thoughts about how we will do that because
Maybe
if we're
20 years.
oh no. Here's the thing. If we are going to be doing the whole universe and not just the show,
Mm-hmm.
Stargate Atlantis actually happens simultaneously from something like it's one of the things where the spinoff was happening and like there were some episodes that like crossed over in a way. So like
Like the Flash.
Yes, not quite as intricate as the Flash and Green Arrow, but like yes. So like it might get to the point where like instead of watching all of Stargate SG-1 and then moving on, that it might make sense to like
intertwine them.
But I don't know 100%. So like ignore me, but don't. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
The rest of the world ignore because it's our logistics to figure out, but I will not ignore you because it is good information for me to have.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect. So who do you want to punch?
I don't remember why, but I wanted to punch Jack.
That's fair. Sometimes I just want to punch Jack.
Fair.
I would like to punch Harrower just for having a fucked up name.
However.
I can't say your name, so I will punch you instead.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. Who is your MVP?
Daniel Jackson.
Of course.
I did tell you who's my hero in the middle, in case that was not a good indication of who I was going to pick.
Yeah. My MVP, give you 3 guesses. It's Thor.
Color me shocked.
Right. Says the bitch with an alien tattoo. Yes, it's
I
absolutely
like
Thor.
how you said, give you 3 guesses, and then immediately responded and did not give me 3 guesses.
Because you wouldn't have needed them.
Very true, very true.
Yeah, it's Thor. He's great. He killed all the gold.
Excellent, as you should.
Yeah, honestly. And like he was nice to Garwin because it wasn't her fault that Daniel Jackson broke the rules.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah.
Any trivia for me?
No. Because the trivia was stupid.
Excellent.
I mean, like, to be fair, one of the pieces of trivia was this is a direct sequel to Thor's hammer. And one of the other pieces of trivia is that the way that the C4 blew up didn't make sense.
I feel like the filming, because they did film all the first and second season together, like we've talked about. I feel like they just like filmed episodes together, and then they were like, sprinkle one here, sprinkle one there.
Okay. Yeah, so the trivia, the first one is the Claymore mines that they used in real life, those mines would shred anything that is 150 feet near it, but everything in this episode was like only 50 feet. And like it was like details about mines that I really don't even know or care or understand what they're talking about. This is a direct sequel to Thor's Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And spoiler, this is the first appearance of Thor in his actual appearance.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the entirety of the trivia.
Very helpful.
I know, it's so fascinating. I don't even know what to do, but I will say that my favorite thing on the IMDb page is that the first quote in the quote section is Teal'c saying, "Things will not calm down, Daniel Jackson. They will, in fact, calm up."
Yes. So can we talk about the future a bit vaguely without giving anything away?
Sure.
So we're like in it with Thor now, right? Like,
yeah,
he's real part of the series now.
I mean,
in the same effect that like the Goa'uld are.
Yeah.
Where like we get him more frequently than some of the other things.
In the long run, yes. I can't promise that the next few episodes will not be.
I would never ask you to confirm or deny if the next episode is going to make any sense with the previous episode.
Right, because the chances of it happening aren't very high. But yes, like long-term story arc, characters, like impact, yes, the Asgardians are pretty fucking important.
Excellent. I also would like to say that I would really like to believe that the aliens are out there and are protecting our society, and they're hiding their true form because they know we would lose all of our minds, and I love them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. I also am obsessed with aliens.
Yeah, I am. I think if the aliens were to come back, that we'd be pretty tight.
I could believe it. I could definitely believe that.
I'm not gonna hinder them.
I feel like if aliens are real and they don't join us on our podcast, I'll be very disappointed.
Oh, that's true. That would be a real bummer. We're pretty big fans.
We are, and like not in an exploitative way either, which like
no, and like the way of like if Joel De La Fuente had been on the podcast. Yeah. So basically Joel De La Fuente is an alien and we love him.
That honestly checks out for my obsession levels.
I think so. I don't see anything.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you have any predictions or thoughts about the future other than questions?
Predictions. There will be more episodes.
Yeah, that I can confirm for sure.
Yeah. There will be more Goa'uld.
Yep.
In the future times.
Yep.
So No. My answer to your question is no. I do not have predictions because I don't even work again. Maybe a vague prediction because you said is the child of Ra and Hathor, correct?
Yes.
So we've killed Ra. Done.
Yes.
Done. Bye.
Yes.
Hathor is kind of still out there somewhere
Correct.
in the abyss, but we have interacted with them.
Yeah.
So I think that at some point they will come together as mother and child.
We also still will have to address the fact that the SG team thinks Apophis is dead, and he is not.
Right, but I don't know if that's going to tie. That's not part of my prediction for who's going to tie in with however.
I mean, I feel like eventually, like ideally, there should just be like a Justice League of Goa'uld villains.
Ooh.
Except for like they wouldn't be the Justice League because Justice League is good guys, but like you get what I mean.
They'd be like the
Suicide
Chaos
Squad.
League.
Okay, I was like,
or Suicide Squad that like tracks with what already exists in the world. That's again just making things up. That's what I'm here for.
yes.
We should be the Chaos League.
We are the Chaos League.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
That is
really
all of my thoughts for this week on Stargate. I had more than I expected. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you for suffering through that with us. I
think it was fun. No suffering.
I don't promise things that I can't actually keep. But like I vaguely attempt to never go that long without watching the episode before I record again.
Yeah, we're gonna at least like try to do math again before to like make sure when we need. Although, had I not watched the episode 2 weeks ago, I would not have watched the episode before today.
Oh, I absolutely for sure had zero fucking time for that.
Yeah.
So,
no.
But
Because
like
I had
I
a
maybe
conference today and tomorrow, so I was like, oh.
I like maybe could have watched it while I was getting my tattoo, but like then I couldn't have taken notes. So like no, I definitely. Yep, nope. Good times. Good times. Well, if you have ever seen an alien and it looked like Thor, please
I've
tell
ever
us.
seen an alien. Oh my gosh, all of your words just ran together and I did not know what you said.
I said,
But
if you have ever seen an alien and it looks like Thor,
yes,
please tell us. You can reach us at definitely.
I would like to restate this statement. If you have ever seen an alien, full stop, please tell us what it looked like and more information.
Fair.
Yes.
Fair. I was trying to like tie it into the podcast a little bit more, but like I would also please tell us
to directly step away from that because I have more pressing needs if someone's seen it.
You can email us at deathandaliens@gmail.com. You can follow us on all of the social media at Death and Aliens. You can follow me everywhere at EMKAY_superstar.
And you can find me at CECloud13.
And with that, we will be back for an just as disjointed episode of Thriller Thursday for Bates Motel.
And it is utter chaos in the movie, in the episode itself. So
yeah. So we'll good luck, and we'll see you then.
See ya.
Bye.